Since I was a little girl, I had terrible stomach problems. I had very bad gas and digestion. I had constipation. I had diarrhea. Just so many problems. I used to get such terrible stomach aches. And I used to eat gluten all the time, not realizing it. And of course, my mother back then didn't realize it either. And I was like this most of my life, where I had some serious gastrointestinal problems. I didn't realize, but I also suffered from depression. I used to get really bad rashes out of nowhere, and I had no idea where they were coming from. And then I also, worst of all, used to get really sick with a sinus infection that would turn into bronchitis, and I'd be down and out for 2 weeks at a time, twice a year. And that was so frustrating because I didn't know why I kept getting sick all the time. And I was always exhausted and fatigued. I was just so tired I couldn't think straight. I couldn't understand it. I didn't understand. And every time I ate, I would drain into my throat. And I thought, why does that keep happening? And I finally one day just decided that, I was never going to figure this out. And so I just lived with it until I was about 50 years old. So I used to go to the doctors all the time, to my medical doctor, to figure out what was going on. The first thing they discovered was that my thyroid was hypothyroid. Had no reason to know why it happened. They couldn't explain it. They just put me on hormones, synthetic hormones, which did not work the best for me. And then years later, or as I went along, years later, with the stomach problems I was having, I went to my doctor regularly saying, why is this happening? Why am I hurting? They did a sigmoidoscopy and found nothing. I had a colonoscopy, they found nothing. And then he told me I had IBS, Irritable Bowel Syndrome. And I said, great, what is it and how do I fix it? And they said, we don't know what it is or what it causes it, and we have no cure for it. So just something again that I had to live with once again in my life. Very frustrating. I accidentally found a way to figure this out because I was looking for a chiropractor. The one I had been going to actually left town with his wife and his family and moved up to the Northwest. And so I found Health Now. Somebody had recommended it and said, oh, they're real good chiropractic work there. And I said, okay. So I went, and as I was going for a while, I found out they had nutritional services. And I thought, wow, maybe I should check into that and see how what they can help me with. And one of the first things they did was take me off of gluten, which I was very upset about. I did not like that. I was giving up my favorite foods. I thought, how can I live without it? And but I did it. I did the elimination process or elimination test that they gave me, or the process actually, and took the gluten out of my diet, substituted other things, and back then there weren't a lot of gluten options, gluten substitution options. So it was very hard, but I did it anyway, and before I knew it, my stomach was feeling better. I no longer was getting sinus infections. I didn't get rashes anymore. I wasn't so fatigued. I didn't have the mental blocks that I used to get all the time. So I couldn't believe the difference. It's like I no longer, after a while, after I got over being angry, I was actually thrilled that I had actually found the solution. Oh yeah, and when I ate, I didn't drain anymore. That was the biggest thing for me because that was just puzzling to me and very irritating to have that happen every time I ate. So I really, really was so grateful to have finally found a solution, that they helped me find the solution, something I had never heard of and would never have thought of to try. I didn't think food could affect you that way, but now I know different. So. In addition to the nutritional services that I received and the chiropractic services, I also was helped with my hormonal issues. I was going into menopause, or I actually was in menopause. I was having terrible night sweats and hot flashes, very uncomfortable, and it was very embarrassing, being out there and all of a sudden feeling like I was going to explode from the heat. And It turns out that I was able to see the doctors here, and they put me on the bioidentical hormones. They did a lot of testing to figure out where I was and put me on the bioidentical hormones. And I just love them because they cured my problem right away. Eventually I will wean off of them, but for now they're doing their job and I'm very happy with them. And the other thing that I had also was parasites. I was having some other issues and I thought, wait, I'm not eating gluten, so it can't be the gluten causing this. And so I came and the doctors asked me to test for parasites, which we did, and sure enough, I had a parasite. I got the medication for that, and that was gone, and my problem went away. So I just can't tell you how much Health Now has helped me and looked at areas that a regular medical doctor will not look at. And it's helped my life so much. My life quality has improved, and I can't say how grateful I am. It's just wonderful.